to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing my October TBR. It's no secret that October is my favorite month out of the entire year. I love the spooky vibes, I love the cozy vibes, and I have a little bit of both on my TBR, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first book on my TBR is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I first read this book 4 years ago, but I don't remember very much about the plot. But I do remember loving the academic setting, and I loved the boarding school vibes, and I feel like if you enjoyed the inheritance games, then you would really enjoy this as well. I really wanted to go back and reread this because I really want to finish the series. I never did read the other books, so I'm excited to finally dive into the whole series. So this takes place at a boarding school called Ellingham Academy. It is a famous private school in Vermont. It was founded by Albert Ellingham, and shortly after the school was opened in 1936, Albert's wife and daughter were kidnapped. The only clue that was left behind was a note signed by the pseudonym Truly Devious. Years later, we have Stevie Bell, who is a true crime enthusiast, and she is attending Ellingham Academy, and she is determined to solve the mystery. While she is attending the school, Truly Devious strikes again. So this is just a really fun young adult mystery, and I think the vibes are perfect for October. Next up, I have another young adult mystery. This is One of Us Is Next. This is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying. I read One of Us Is Lying years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I really loved it, and I have owned this book for a really long time, and I still have not read it, so I'm excited to finally dive into it. I don't want to say too much about the synopsis because it does kind of give away what happened in the first book, but I will say that there is a game of truth or dare. Next, we have a cozy read. This is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I have heard so many good things about this book. I am so excited to dive in. I've heard that it's just a very gentle, warm, uplifting story. This is a novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. So I've heard that this has Mary Poppins vibes, which definitely sounds like something I would enjoy. And there is a grumpy sunshine romance between a witch and a handsome librarian. Honestly, it sounds perfect. Next, I have a young adult fantasy novel. I thought this cover was so perfect for autumn, and this is the first book in the Last Hours trilogy. This is Chain of Gold, and I definitely recommend reading the Infernal Devices trilogy before reading this, because this follows the children from those characters, and I was so emotionally invested in those characters, so I'm really excited to read about their children. And the fact that Will Herondale is in this story, I will read anything about Will. If you don't know who Will Herondale is, please, please, please read Clockwork Angel. Just do it. So this follows Cordelia, and she is a shadow hunter. She was born and raised to battle demons, but when her father is accused of a terrible crime, she travels to London to try to prevent her family's ruin. While she is there, she reconnects with her childhood friends, James and Lucy, and all the while she is hiding her secret love for James because James is sworn to marry someone else. So it sounds like we have a bit of a forbidden romance and friends to lovers. Next, we have a creepy middle grade. This is called The Clackity. So this follows the story of Evie, and she lives in Blight Harbor, which is the 7th most haunted town in America. She lives there with her Aunt Des. Her Aunt Des has one rule: never enter the slaughterhouse house at the edge of town. But when Aunt Des goes missing, Evie has no choice but to enter the building. And there she meets Clackity, the creature who lives in the shadows of the slaughterhouse. It says, "From somewhere deep in the shadows, a hand reached out. My brain told me the hand was too far away from the face to belong to the same creature, but it had to, because the thing smiled, wider still, and gave me a little wave. It had too many joints in its long fingers, and they made a click, click, click when they bent. I screamed." Even though this is a middle grade, this sounds really creepy. Last but not least, I have a thriller. This is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I have read some non-spoiler reviews and they said it's best to go into it not really knowing much. I've also heard that this has a really shocking twist. All I know is that this follows a couple who have been married for 10 years. They have 10 years of secrets and they are on an anniversary trip that they will never forget. I've heard that this has a mixture of a spooky thriller and a psychological thriller. So that is it for my October TBR. Let me know what you will be reading this month and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!